This is the Business Hour in partnership with Network B2B, helping you share your passion, knowledge, and make great connections.
Well, it's a lovely sunny morning. I'm over at the Aston Hall in Sheffield. You may hear the birds singing, you may hear the traffic passing, but it's great to be out and about, you know, in the wonderful world of nature, really. Now, every business has a story, and they say every picture tells a story. So this morning, it's a pleasure to be joined by Kirstin. And we're going to find out about the photography world of Kirstin, how she started, how she helps businesses to tell their story. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you, Steve.
Lovely morning.
Oh,
lovely
absolutely.
morning. Sat out here in the sunshine.
Yes, absolutely loving it. I love light and beautiful mornings like this. I think morning is my favourite time of the day.
Brilliant. Well, look, Kirstin, before we find out about just how you help businesses tell a story, how did you get into the world of photography in the first place?
Well, it was a bit of a windy road, actually.
Okay.
I grew up in South Africa, in Cape Town, and always thought, you know, I need to be practical, get a good degree in some sort of science or mathematics or something, and get a good job that, you know, is secure. And moved over here and did a business degree and ended up in a job I just wasn't happy in. It was all about the money, the bottom line, and I was like, I can't do this. So I took the jump and quit and went to study photography. Got a little part-time job in the council, and the rest is history. Started up the business in 2010 doing weddings and portraits, and it just grew from there.
So there's your little story to start with. Okay. So you've wedded some portraits, you're moving into the commercial world as well. And what do you mean? We were just talking before we started recording. You told me about every business has a story. So what does that mean for you?
Well, I think most people are passionate about what they do. When you're talking about businesses, they've set it up because they've got a passion, they've got a skill, and they want to help people. I think that is generally the story of most businesses, and I love hearing those stories about how they've built their business, what they've overcome, what their passion is, and how they want to help people.
And does that give you I don't know whether angle's the right word, but when you're doing the photographs, because you know their story, when you're looking to do the photos, you're probably getting in the right frame again, the right light, the right atmosphere, the ambience. Is that important to you to help them tell the story through pictures?
Absolutely. I really want to get to know my clients and find out what makes their business tick. And then I'm analysing, right, what kind of light am I going to use? How am I going to show their business in the best possible way? What kind of, if it's a product, how do they want that product positioned? How do they want it photographed? Are we going to put them in nature? Are we going to put them in a studio? Are we going to put them in the shop that they're in? All these things are running through my head, and understanding the customer really helps me make those decisions that are best for the client.
So there's a fair bit to think about there, isn't there? Yeah. And I'm smiling because I used to work in the food industry, so and part of my role was in marketing, so we used to do food photography. So I can get what you're saying, because I've been a whole day shoot just photographing one product.
Yes, it always astounds people how long things take, and it used to astound me when I first got into commercial photography, actually. Now what I tend to do is actually meet with the client, do some sample shots as well to show them what I can do, and that gives me a better understanding of how long it may take, because you're absolutely right. I've done shoots for products where it has taken the whole day, and there might only be maybe 4 lines of product with a few fragrances in each.
Yes.
And it really does take a lot of time and effort, but it's well worth it.
I was going to say, it is well worth it, because when you see the quality of that photograph, I'll be very careful when I say that, sometimes when you see a photograph outside a shop with a badly taken photograph, it doesn't encourage you in, does it?
No. And when I do see those photographs, I'm like, oh, I could have done so much better. I think it's about educating people, because in this day and age, everybody has a phone. And phones, I use my phone to take snaps when I'm on holiday and stuff, and I don't feel like lugging my camera around. But ultimately, you need professional photographers to really capture what you're getting.
And in terms of sectors, do you work across various sectors, from coffee shops? What kinds of things do you do, Oh,
goodness, I have done all sorts. So some of the things I've done, I've worked for a horse feed company. They also did clothing, so we did clothing and the horse feed. I've done mechanics, so I really love that, because it's not pretty, is it, in the first instance, but I love the challenge of being able to make something amazing out of it. I really love that, photographing close-ups of all the different materials and equipment that they've got.
Okay. Challenge.
Yes, it's a challenge. And then you've got the really pretty things. So, I've done beauty products as well, and body oils and all sorts, and all those lovely things, and bed and breakfast where everything's beautifully set out.
So hospitality industry is one.
Yeah. So across all sorts, I think the joy of my job is any business needs good photography.
Let me ask you a question about this then, because I'll share this story with you. LinkedIn photos, okay, right? I had somebody want to connect with me on LinkedIn, and they always say you should take a good photo on LinkedIn, and I looked at this person's photo, and when I zoomed in on it, they'd actually taken a selfie in a hotel bathroom with a toilet roll holder behind them. And I thought, what kind of message does that give for their industry? So again, that's very important to get that right.
I think so. I think headshots are so important. I think what I like to do is capture a little bit of someone's personality, because everybody brings their own personality to business, and we shouldn't strip that out. So I want to make things different. I tend to prefer to shoot with different backgrounds. So, if I'm photographing a chef, I'd love to photograph them in the kitchen. If I'm photographing an accountant, I might look for a more professional, sleek background, greys and blacks. So what I'm wanting to do is create a personal image for that person that says a little bit about what they do, but also brings a bit of personality, making them feel comfortable in front of the camera.
Sounds absolutely wonderful. Now then, you've also launched a new service, haven't you? So tell me about this.
Right, yes. I realised that, many small and medium businesses, they might really struggle to have the initial outlay for a full day shoot or a half day shoot or whatever it may be. And so I decided that it might be really great to offer a pay monthly scheme where small and medium businesses who have regular photography needs can pay a monthly fee and then get a set amount of photography throughout the year that they can spread out.
Okay.
And then get lots of different photos that they can use across all mediums.
So they buy a certain amount of hours really within that fee, I guess. Is that how it would work?
Yes. So for example, looking at maybe 4 shoots a year, and that could be 4 full days, 4 half days, or 4 2-hour slots, for example. They can spread that out throughout the year. So maybe they might do it regularly every quarter, or they could spread it out a bit differently, a bit unevenly to suit their needs.
So coming to my mind, especially around the hospitality industry then, because they're changing menus, that's a great opportunity there to do that. Companies that have, how could I say, I don't mean they have a rapid turnover because they can't keep staff, but just the nature of the business, people come and go fairly quick. That could be.
So it could be catering companies who have waiters and waitresses potentially. They might have staff photos, but schools as well. Teachers, maybe they have new teaching assistants coming on, or events staff, anything like that, where they might have a large organisation with maybe a few individuals coming and going regularly.
And they know they've got that peace of mind that they've got you in the nicest possible way on call.
Yeah, basically.
Yes. Kirsten's there. We don't have to worry about it. We don't have to go and get a big quote from somewhere.
No.
We're paying for this service. We just ring Kirsten up and she'll be there and do us a great job.
That's correct. And you can just save it up and go, okay, well, we've had 8 new starters in the last 3 months. We'll book a shoot in, and jobs are good in.
Right. I love it. Jobs are good. And there's a Yorkshire phrase. That's not a Cape Town phrase, is it? No.
No. I've lived here a fair few years now. I've become a little bit Yorkshire.
So, Kirsten, if people want to find out more about you, how can they do that? Where can they get in touch?
Well, I've got visibility on Facebook, on LinkedIn. I've got my own website, which has some commercial stuff on. And I'm also via email. So, I'm guessing...
Yeah, you want to give us a website?
Yeah, the website is www.kirstenjohnsonphotography.co.uk.
Okay, and if they want to connect with you on LinkedIn?
LinkedIn, it's Kirsten Johnson.
Yes.
Come find me. I love to add people.
Okay, brilliant. Well, look, thank you for joining me today in this wonderful environment. And whatever you're doing for the rest of the day, have a great one.
Thank you.
Like to share news about your business, event, seminar, or workshop? Simply email steve@stevetwynham.com.